else. We've been really blessed with maps this week, Demo. Honestly, I've been here on some weeks where we've been like Coastline 4 times, Oregon 3 times. We've had a really nice spread. So I'm really pleased for that. And now we get to finish things. It's still no bang, but we still get to finish things on what is quickly becoming one of my favorite maps, and that is Chalet.
Yeah, Chalet's a bit of a go-to map these days now. Great to see. Bomb sites are solid. Maybe not the basement. Basement's a bit smelly at times, but other than that, pretty good. Pretty good map. Bans, run of the mill. Well, maybe that Echo ban. Wonder who that's for, Ollie. Maybe the guy who dropped what 13, 14 kills yesterday is Echo.
Probably not a bad place to start, is it? Anything that you can do to slow souls down. We've got the Valkyrie and we've got the Echo. A little bit of target ban being thrown into the mix there, and then the mandatory Thatcher ban that we've seen, I think, every single game this weekend.
Just the go-to, really, for every region is just, yeah, get rid of Thatcher. Makes life a lot easier for everyone, it just seems to be. And, yeah, obviously, FaZe will be able to run rampant with that ban whenever they get on the defense, but at the moment, they themselves have to play with no Thatcher on board, but nearly every team at this stage, Ollie, they're used to playing with no Thatcher. Name a competitive team that isn't used to playing with no Thatcher. You can't, because it's always banned.
I mean, we may as well just remove Thatcher.
Can't do that, because then there would be an odd number of SAS operators, and we can't be having that.
I mean, we're playing in a Thatcherless world at the moment.
To remove them, you can't do that.
Well,
Madman.
Someone's got to give. But this time, ooh, Palu. See the traces flying past. He's going to go for this. He's getting himself out there. What?
You've
You've seen him. You've got to be able to convert onto that Palu. What are you doing? Resets. Save the day, please. Thank you. Palu should be able to get picked up here as long as everybody is quick about it. But that was not the opening, I think, that Liquid were expecting. Astro, he pushed himself on in and found one onto PSK. As Liquid are further getting chunked down from pretty much every single angle here. Library control is being given up, and well, that's going to make the site a very uncomfortable place to be.
Resets will also eliminate those Habana pellets. Resets just everywhere it seems to be will be spotted out. Ooh, almost gets taken out. But he's still alive. Ask, though, on the other end. Ask is not in a good position whatsoever. He is going to be downed in stock, and nobody is in a good position to really go on and help him. Paulu, he's still alive, and he's still kicking around, and he's eliminated Cyber, so now Liquid not in a good position, but not in a bad position either. And she'll rotate in from Nest to try and pick up their smoke. FaZe not really capitalizing on this opportunity. It has been a little bit disastrous for Liquid, and Nesk eliminates Astro, and Ask, is he going to bleed out? Are they going to go for him? It looks as if they're going to leave him for dead. I say that, though. Nesk will slip in and go for the pickup. So Liquid, they've stopped the bleeding, and they've actually came out of this, Ollie, in a good standing.
Hill's going to trade 1-for-1 there as Nesk and Cameraman go back and forth. Palu, he's already gotten away with a lot considering the start to the round that he had. Cameraman going to try and give himself a rotation here to move through, or at least another opportunity on line of sight that needs checking. We're jumping back into the Rotero drone as he is the last remaining hope here for FaZe. 1 versus 3. But with players fairly low, there is an opportunity here, especially given that Nesk is rocking the DMR. He doesn't have that prowess of the P10 Roni. A couple of missed shots are all it is going to take. Resets, he's going to be lying in wait, and you mentioned it earlier, Demo. He seemed to be everywhere that his team needed, whether it was picking Palu up, or should I say getting the kill and then picking Palu.
The business, it's a good mix, Ollie, from what we're seeing of this side. We're seeing the new boys help the old boys in a way. It's like, come on, granddad, you know, into the home you go, get you into retirement. But, you know, look at Nesk, still kicking.
You honestly sound like Fancy's Twitter sometimes. I've hit translate on some of the tweets, so I'm not sure of the accuracy of it all. There's a lot of funny tweets posted towards Nesk and just how old he is, and you're like, he's not that old. He's still on the top of his game.
Not that old to you, Ollie, because you yourself are old.
Well, that's the problem when you got these young gunners coming up, and you know they're 18, 19, and they're able to do such crazy things inside of the server. But Still.
These are my people.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting there. You'll get there one day.
Oh, don't say it. 23 this year. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh, it's all going. That's when things start to slow down. The reaction
Airline's
times. Yeah, the reaction times will start to slow now. And
come on now, me and the Vigil. It's a scary pairing still.
oh, Resets has earned the Vigil this round. His performance in the previous round must have been enough here for him to warrant, you know, that's it. You've put a really good round in on support. You've played well on the supporting role, so you can stretch your legs. You can go out on the Vigil and, you know, really see what you can make of it.
Yeah, scary operator, always going to be difficult to deal with, is immune to drones, and drones are the biggest way that attackers find out information on locations of defenders, and if a guy is invisible, it's going to make things just a little bit more difficult. So this kitchen bomb site usually is played out fairly similar to what we see from kind of like a bedroom defense, is where you need to hold above to defend below. The vertical game is massive for this bomb site. You have a hatch that literally opens up the entirety of kitchen alone, so you need to try and defend that and take that advantage away from the attackers. Liquid have done that, but even more to an extent. They've extended into library. They are trying to hold almost, what, 60% of the map at one point. Only issue that for Liquid is refrags would become a bit of an issue. If you spread yourselves very, very thin, you can easily get taken out. And oh my word, I thought Ask was about to be absolutely annihilated from that swing in, but Resets has him covered.
Was it 3 seconds and 3 kills there, as everything just seemed to line up for Liquid perfectly. They were able to demolish FaZe on the entry. And now again, we're left in a 2vx situation. Camera and Bullet this time. Cameraman's a bit of an old hand at these 1vx's or 2vx's, whatever it may be. Whenever the odds are stacked against FaZe, Cameraman seems to be one of the players that is left standing. Usually Cameraman and Souls, but at least this time the Rotero drone will be stopped, and Palu comes in. What a shot onto Bullet. Palu has delivered in both games this weekend in terms of his gun skill, and he's gonna find another there. A flawless round there for Liquid in round number 2. And they did not look pressured at all.
Risks. And usually those risks pay off for them. Like, we've seen plenty of times where a crazy strategy that should never work works for FaZe. But today, luck is not on their side. Liquid seem to be in the right places at the right times that counter everything FaZe Clan want to try and go for.
It's early days, but the ebb and flow of this game is really in Liquid's favour at the moment. There's a couple of guys that have come out of the gate sprinting, and they have yet to slow down. Resets 3-0, Nesk 2-0, Palu 4-1. Everybody putting in a bit of a shift. We have just briefly lowered the audio volume of the stream as well in terms of the game sound, so don't worry, it isn't on your end. We're just experiencing audio bug at the moment, and as soon as it's gone, we will crank it back up so you'll be able to hear everything. But for the time being, it is just a little bit lower than usual.
So, let's see now how FaZe can bounce back. They need a round ollie. He cannot give Liquid a bit of momentum, and on a map like Chalet, where it is supposed to be attacker-sided, you kind of need to win your attacks, and FaZe Clan have not done that as of yet. Liquid are in a great position to really start sweeping up and pick up a lot of defensive rounds, so a lot of pressure in FaZe. Looking at their setup, Ollie, they're already on the window game. You've got Cameraman in that double window. You've got some pressure towards Solar. This is looking like a Solarium take to me. They also have some other people scattered around out towards Office Balcony. Cameraman will find a kill on the double window. It's always surprising to see somebody die from that position, because double window is kind of like, it's a classic. Someone's always going to be there. Why is Resets being in a position where he can get shot from that area?
Yeah, Resets getting caught out there, as his reign of terror will be briefly over for this round as he's sent onto the cameras. Palu takes full advantage. The slow peek onto Cyber. Cyber's holographic just covering the line of sight. I believe we've cranked back up to full volume so we can hear everything that is going to be going on here. Leveling things up there. A Jaeger for a buck, especially on this site, is a great and worthwhile trade, but when it comes at the cost of your Legion as well, you've got to start to question things. And that's a great refrag. It's a little bit late, but it's a refrag nonetheless. Now, it still doesn't make up for the fact that FaZe have nothing to push this reverse vertical with, but they can at least start now to gain a bit more information and formulate a plan to execute.
Good spot now for FaZe to be in. They have the man advantage. They're opening below of Ask. If he falls, that could be a massive kill for FaZe, but he's still alive, and he's still playing in towards half wall. Astro has the drone. He knows exactly where he is. He's trying to feed that information back. Is there going to be a swing from office door? Not as of yet. Bullet will now leave that vertical game. Astro begins to open up the office. Ask fires out C4, but catches nobody with that one. Breaks the barbed wire to give him a bit more aggressive attitude to it. Will destroy the drone. Maybe goes for the swing, and he will find the kill on to Astro. What a great play from Ask. Bullet and also the Anaclone will move their way in, and Bullet finds a freebie, not expecting the follow-up from the Anaclone, and now Nesk and PSK. Just Nesk now. PSK gets eliminated from the double window diffuser going down. This is Pinnacle from FaZe. Oh, Nesk, what a shot. Oh, the second almost lines up. Bullet and such low HP. He knows exactly where the diffuser is going and now has to win this against Bullet. He will do that. A 1v1 peeks for some information. Jiggle peeking with the Iana, but Souls, you don't win your engagements against him. He's on fire this weekend, and he continues that trend.
Where does Nesk get his confidence?
Piano was probably the scariest position that a Liquid player could have been in for FaZe. And once they knew that was clear, and once they checked the bathroom door was clear, very, very simple for Bullet to walk in. They knew they had a guy in double window. Nobody is going to be swinging in from bedroom. And from there, it was very simple to walk in, go for the plant. So, FaZe, they took some risks, they took some big chances, but it paid off for them.
Well, now we move. As Liquid don't fancy giving it another go upstairs. Instead, going to mix things up. This is a site where they were successful previously in round number 1. There was some questionable plays at best. I'm mainly looking toward you, Palu. He got himself for a very aggressive run out. Basically stared the attacker down dead in the face and then hopped back in the window. Astro is more than ready for that eventuality again, but I doubt that it is going to happen in the same way, as things didn't really work out too well for Liquid in that first round. It came down to a little bit of a clutch, and it was sort of scrappy stuff. Palu already getting pressured and looking like he's trying to be pinched, but the kills are coming through here, and they're coming through for Liquid. Resets finds one before being traded out by Astro. Palu was being pinched by the air jabs as well. He was able to remove them that Cyber had placed down and can actually make his way back into the site, but FaZe are like sharks circling very early on. Yeah.
FaZe, whenever they get a sniff of Blood Ollie, they are straight in at 200 miles an hour, hunting for their prey. So again, it's very wide extension from Liquid, trying to hold in towards the top floor. It's working for the meantime. A very classic Liquid thing to do is try and hold on to Library. We know that Nesk in positions inside of Library has done wonders for them in the past. He's on 4 kills at the moment. If he can find any more. Paulu still has that deployable shield on top of Blue. Very stable position for him to play in. Flores drones are also going to be ever looming. But with those mute jammers in place, it will deny the Flores just for the meantime. So a minute 15 to go. Still not full upstairs control as of yet. That will be the next stage for FaZe, will be to eliminate Blue, eliminate top fireplace, and finally work their way in and utilize the hatches that are still always going to be available for this bomb site.
There's still some utility to wade through, and there's the small problem of Palu at the top of these Library stairs. Cameraman's done a good job of dealing with that utility, but still got the man to take care of. Souls, he makes a nade land onto PSK as Palu now starts to more aggressively hold his stance at the top of that Library. He's going to throw out the C4, but it will get shot out in midair as Astro narrowly gets away with that one. Library control fully in the hands of FaZe now. It's going to pressure Ask even more so. Going to be in that back storage and looking to Toxic Babe canister out. He's likely cut off the drop for now, or the window hopping. The Cyber can't get himself in, and Soul's still looking to try and get that diffuser down. Advantage still with FaZe, and it's going to continue. Cyber, he takes down Ask. Nesk prowling at the bottom of the stairs, is going to move on through. But again, he's rocking the DMR. He's not equipped for these close-range engagements. He doesn't know that Astro is prone. Cameraman does the rest. And FaZe chain a couple of rounds together here.
Yeah, that was great stuff from FaZe. That's 2 in a row for them. A good bounce back, what we would call the unit. And a unit like FaZe on their day are terrifying. Absolutely terrifying they go against, and I'm happy to see the bounce back.
There's a night and day difference, isn't there, with the way that they're particularly attacking. And we'll have to see how that transpires when they switch over onto the defense. It's been touted that Chalet is a bit more of an attacker-sided map, so we will see as this game progresses on just how true a statement, should I say, that is. Liquid not messing around. Site change once again. If something isn't working for them, they're more than happy to move off, give it a think, and then go back later if necessary. They've taken us downstairs into kitchen this time, as their previous 2 attempts of Master and Office and Bar and Games haven't worked out at all.
Okay, let's see now. Now, really, I think Liquid respond. They've lost 2 defenses now in a row where they look pretty strong in those opening 2 rounds. I've changed up a couple of operators here or there. All doing that Legion. Also, PSK brings in the Alibi. So, I would say a very loose defensive setup. There's no smoke, which I think is a bit of a shock for a lot of teams. Whenever you don't see a smoke, you think, oh, what's happened to smoke ban? But nope, just not bring a smoke this time around. They're looking to play pretty aggressive with the roam game. Yeah, you look at these operators, you're thinking, yeah, they're out for swings. Look at PSK right now, Ollie. On trophy window. He's out for blood. They want to try and get into the faces of FaZe and just don't let them play their game.
It's fearless confidence being displayed by Liquid here, and sooner or later they're going to get punished for it. Even Nesk is giving it a go as Bullet has every advantage going for him in that engagement. He's got a better gun at range, a cleaner scope to peek through, and well, quite rightly, Nesk is going to think better of it before getting himself too caught out. Astro has some Z-ping information as well, but do they know about Ask? The answer is no. It should be a freebie, but no! Aski misses his shots! Astro gets away with it there, and he's allowed to push through. Instantly traded by Resets, not given an opportunity to cause any further damage, but still it's a loss that shouldn't be suffered at this point. Liquid, they're going to lose a C4 for that as well. Still managed to level things up.
Bullet has been out here, it seems like, forever. Nesk is still at his window, still waiting for a swing Cyber. Also, equally, has been just sitting outside of office for the longest time. Pace of the round has certainly came down quite a bit. Bit of information will be fed through, and Nesk now in a bit of an awkward position. One guy in one window, one guy in another. Here comes the Flores, and Nesk is none the wiser. Actually, it was a great jump in from Bullet, and a great pinch. See now, oh, resets. He catches him out. The pincer movement worked well for FaZe, but Resets is able to snag a kill. Now falls back to the safety of the bomb site. 3v3. Still not safe for either side. I have no idea how this one's going to play out. Souls will have a battle against PSK. And Souls comes out on top. PSK will be downed. Don't think he knows that, though. Souls, his information is going to be gone. The Gemini gets blocked by the mute jammer, but Resets in a deadly position. If they don't know he's here, he could easily spring up, get 2 kills. He's been flashed. His own teammate has been flashed. Oh no, Cyber still wins it though. Resets gave himself up with getting that 1 kill onto Cameraman, and Palu has the time advantage, just runs away, and then leaves Cyber begging for more time, but he's not getting any of that. Liquid, 3-2, very scrappy round, comes down to the wire once again. Resets, Ollie, we have to talk about him. What a...
And maybe that change is something that FaZe are feeling necessary. Cyber's been playing a little bit of Nomad here and there, a little bit of Book, whatever it might be, but this time he's switched off. He's on to the Thinker. FaZe obviously need something to change here. They need some difference maker to save themselves going 2-4 down at the split.
Liquid, definitely in a good position, and we'll go to the bar. Last time this was defended. Didn't work well for Liquid. FaZe played it pretty by the book. Going in from library, using their utility well. The drone work came in massive. Let's see if they can recreate that. I wonder if Liquid are going to change up anything. I wonder what they'll try and do different. At the moment, setup seems to be fairly similar. He's Cyber and the Finka now. That's, it's strange to see Finka, but without the nades, Ollie.
Yeah, I was thinking that the Finka pickup would be for the nades as well, but...
Is that deliberate? Maybe that's an... I'm not sure. Who knows? But it does feel weird. It feels weird.
It was a last-minute change, wasn't it? So... I'm not sure. It could just be one of those things that Cyber doesn't regularly play. I can't think of many occasions that we see Cyber play the Finka. I know everyone's done it before, where you've been messing around with Jaeger shotgun or something like that, and you switch on and you forget to change something. I mean, it's a lesser severe. You know, you've gone from nades to flashes, so it's not quite as severe as that, but it still could be pretty important, especially if you're looking for a couple more here. Especially with the way that they're taking into library now, some nades would be handy to remove players like PSK from being able to pose so much of a threat.
Resets under pressure now. Those Flores drones rolling in. Global shields are not going to be able to help him out. It's gone. Still has an ADS, I suppose, but doesn't have the same security as you would like with a massive metal shield in front of you. PSK, I mean, this is a scary position. Resets, gets eliminated, and feels as if PSK might be the next one to fall. And, oh, yes, he will. Tries to make a last effort dash, but he himself gets shot in the back, and he goes down. Liquid have ran into the same issues once again, and FaZe, you have to command their work. Oh, I thought that was the real Gemini for, the real Yana for a minute there, Ollie, but, oh, never mind. There is Bullet, who swings in. 2v5, Liquid have been demolished.
It's about time. FaZe needed a little bit of an advantage here somewhere, and they seem to have found it. Soul's getting the plant down as well. He's going to give every chance possible for FaZe to come away with this round and to level things up to 3 apiece. Nesk and Palu, the dynamic duo, we speak about them so many times. Have they got what it takes here and now? Palu certainly does take down Cameraman, but this is a very difficult retake. You're dealing with a diffuser that is planted in plain sight from an open doorway and angles that are being held, multiple of them at that. Cyber and Astro pick up the final 2. There's a very short-lived dream there that Liquid could do anything to pull that one back. And we exit our first split here at an equal 3 rounds apiece. Rejoin at a very crucial time. It is the turn of the half. Now, we have just come out of a little bit of an extended delay, but there was no team really that was running away with things. FaZe had a good couple of rounds and managed to get the plant down. Liquid, likewise, they had a good early start, but everything pretty level, all things considered.
Whenever we say that we want esports to, you know, be up there with the same of, you know, regular day-to-day sports, Ollie, we don't mean like the halftime has to be a full, you know, 15-minute real-life halftime before we get into the game, but here we are anyway. We're ready now to move into the second half, where it will be Liquid on the attacking side and FaZe on the defense. I mean, I think you're going to have to favor Liquid now on the attacks, Ollie. I think with how Chalet is more considered an attacker-favored map, this is where Liquid can really kick it into gear and start to play that great siege that we know they can do. Liquid, for the most part, on Chalet, they've always been clean. They've always been decisive of how they've attacked this map.
Liquid's attacks have been very good on this map, and again, we're still seeing this roster for some of the first time attacking here on Chalet. It's going to be a lot of firsts, really, inside of this whole stage for Liquid, given that they've had 2 major changes. Sexy Cake and Moringa no longer part of the roster, and we all know what contribution those two have brought to the team in past years. So there is going to be a bit of a hole to fill there, particularly in terms of getting that plant down, and I think there's probably going to be a lot of eyes toward Ask, because those are big boots to fill, getting that plant down as consistently as Sexy Cake did, and maybe it's not something that Liquid are going to look to lean into. Maybe they're going to try and play to other strengths, but historically it's been a very good thing for them, and I don't think it's going to change too much. We watch a relatively steady start to this round.
So, FaZe taking on our defense. A lot of players located upstairs, which is very common to see. Nothing out of the ordinary on that front. Cameraman has a couple of shotgun holes that you can play off inside of dining, looking over towards that single window outside the lobby. It's a window that we don't see all too much action from, Ollie. It is a bit of a niche one to see teams try and push into that. I mean, it does give you a nice access, essentially, to the bar door. You know, it's very easy to slip your way in. But can be held from a lot of different angles that you need to try and check. And, oh, Ask gets eliminated. Cyber just goes for a trip down blue, and he will find that first kill. PSK, though, has the trade-off with the nade on the souls. It's going to be the Mira gone. C4 off the table. And a quick jump in as well from the Nomad, but there's a Mira window looking right at resets, and he's quick enough to dive right back out. These Mira windows, Ollie, this is going to be the kind of bane of Liquid. They need to eliminate them.
FaZe love a mirror, especially here on Chalet. With 40 seconds left, it isn't really the time to be worrying about these mirror windows. The positions are so powerful, and Liquid are going to have to go for an entirely different approach. Polly there even checking for a frost match. Just goes to show how much information Liquid are lacking at this point in the round. He sets a desperate hop in, and we'll find Bullet. For some reason, not playing behind the mirror window, and instead it gives Resets a chance at a second. Not a lot of time remaining, as I've already mentioned. The cameraman gets chunked on down in sight. A lot of hit points damage going the way of Liquid, but kills still coming in here for FaZe. 3 seconds left and the plan's starting to go down. Cameraman, can he make it happen? The answer is no. Palu cannot be stopped regardless of the time remaining. And he's going to be in position to pick those final 2 up. Liquid, how have you...
I did a little bit of Spanish, Ollie, and Cafina is Spanish.
There are some similarities.
And it's similar, isn't it? Yeah.
But it's always a good one to get a handle of nice and early, as that's there's a lot of kitchens on Siege as a whole. There's always a good chance of a kitchen site. So
is there a kitchen
that's
in
where we're
every
gonna be
map?
headed.
Is that the question? Might be.
I know there's a bit of a red herring as Bank doesn't have a toilet on it.
Bank has a break room. Does that count as a kitchen? Probably not.
Maybe. They used to have staff as well. You know, canteen, cafeteria, I think it maybe was.
Strange.
Regardless, that's where we're going to be headed for this round.
You've really made me question now about that. That's strange.
No, it's true. There wasn't a toilet on Bank. And we haven't even got to see it yet this time, so we're not sure if that's changed or not.
God, whenever I think of the toilet now, I think back to the Blur from Navi inside of this very same bathroom. Hiding inside of there, so there is some sneaky areas that you can definitely linger at inside of Chalet. Feels that FaZe more than anyone would be the one to try and pull out those kind of sneaky hides. I mean, FaZe are a team that is kind of known for playing Caveira a lot as well.
They're not afraid to go against the grain in terms of operator selection, and even now you look at the lineup and you go, a Goyo and a Castle and a Mirror. Like, there's not very many lineups that you'd see that many sort of off-picks in.
Only Cafe would be the only one that I can think of, and that's like 1 out of 7 maps.
You haven't got, you've not got a Mute, you've not got a Smoke, you've not got a Mozzie, you've not got these things that are kind of mainstay staples. Instead, they're focusing a lot on throwables, and that's referenced in the fact that they've got ADSs and magnets. They're bringing both Jaeger and Wamai because the nades have been very effective so far on the side of Liquid, and very effective throughout the course of the day so far. It really is an area you can't afford to ignore.
Drone work being done by Liquid. FaZe, a little bit of pressure. Still have those mirror windows upstairs, though. Still delay a lot of the round. I think what we've seen from FaZe is they want to bring those mirror windows, but if they just play on them, they would have a really good success rate with them. Because Liquid seemed to struggle the last time they went up against them, and a quick swing in through Solar Stairs is where PSK is going to go. Palu on double window. That's going to be Nesk now, finds another. Oh, that's a down on the Astro. He's not in a great position, and that should be an easy finish off you would expect from Liquid. They themselves, though, they have to deal with an injure. PSK is downed. Wonder if Ask can get in and try and help his teammate, but in the meantime, pretty slow on either end. Both teams looking to try and lick their wounds, Ollie, and see what else they can maybe do against the enemy opponents.
Yeah, Liquid have been quite slow here. They haven't been able to corral FaZe into those window angles like we usually see them being able to do. 32 seconds left, and FaZe still holding onto those power positions. PSK eventually will be finished off. Hopping from Nesk. Is he going to be successful? Finds himself one. Ask doubles down and picks up a second. Bullet on the library stairs now has a bit of a job to do, and with Cyber above, he has the chance to affect onto the site. The plant needs to go down here, ideally to extend this time. But can it go down under the cover of Cyber? He is looking to let this happen, as the plant was not in a position to be denied. And now FaZe have a very difficult retake on their hands. 2 versus 3 here, with both players for FaZe on the verticals, with no way of making any more angles. They're going to have to get fairly lucky. Nesk, he's going to get caught short. The shotgun coming out there from Cyber as he's able to make a couple more angles, but still the clock ticks. Cyber is able to find one onto Ask, and Palu has to do what he does best, and that is clutch up once again. 15 seconds as the final kill comes through. Is there going to be enough time? The answer is yes. Cyber is able to make that quick rotation and has just enough time to hit that disable.
Not the greatest host plant from Liquid. FaZe able to capitalize on the mistakes from Liquid. 34 plants in total for Liquid, and that's quite a big statistic to put up.
Yeah, you just got to ask a lot of questions about how everybody got caught out there. You know, we saw people just drastically out of position. You could have almost held that post plant from down the stairs, going down in toward Wine Cellar, or maybe even outside if you'd have had a drone on it and just played for, you know, the rotation kills as players move in to inevitably try and disable the diffuser. So a bit of a missed opportunity, especially given that Liquid did a really good job to actually get the plant down in the first place. Time wasn't on their side and things really weren't going in their favor. And honestly, at the point where it was confirmed, I thought that Cyber had maybe blundered a little bit, just holding out on that top floor for a little bit too long. But that's why he is a professional and I am not, because that was the right play in the end, and the shotgun was able to open up sufficient angles. He was able to provide enough cover and take advantage of the couple of mistakes. And they were only small mistakes. They were mistakes nonetheless that Liquid made. Now, we see another change of site. Potentially a electroclaw placed upstairs, as the drone is going to feed that info in. We're going downstairs into the snowmobile garage.
Yeah, basement isn't the most favored. Usually a pretty poor bomb site. It plays out very similar to what we see on Clubhouse, for example. Clubhouse is a map that depends all around the reinforcements. It's all about bringing hard breachers and open up as many lines of sight as you can. I would say basement falls under that same kind of generalism of you open up these walls, you cut off crosses, and the defenders can't do anything about it. That's pretty much what happens. You have reinforced walls towards the snowmobile garage, which just opens up a complete bomb site. You then obviously have, you know, the backside in towards Wine. You have those long angles that you can get from Big Garage right in the way to Connector. So some very long angles being played. Side of Trench can also be opened up. It's very, very tricky for the defenders to deny all of that. Very, very difficult.
Palu's going to open things up there with a nice early kill onto Cyber. This is more of the Liquid that we know, taking advantage of those exterior angles and force players around with drones. They are attacking onto the basement, and they have managed to get that wall open now. The line of sight and something that can be traversed as well. So plenty of room and opportunity for Liquid to look to start to get a plant down. They don't have any smoke grenades, but they've got a couple of regular frags that they're going to be able to use to displace a few of these members of FaZe, but there's still roamers out there. It is by no means a surefire thing. Ask, he's going to be able to shut down Astro. Astro was playing down in on the site, and that puts a little bit more pressure onto Bullet. Now, he's also got air jabs to try and get past. He's maybe going to slow peek through here. Ask was just seconds away from getting a glimpse, but Cameraman is allowed to waltz up those main stairs. Takes down PSK, and with it, a little bit of the momentum that Liquid have gained over the last 30 seconds or so. Still, time remains as Ask gets himself into another long-range engagement. This time, Bullet, he has to now try and push on through. He's going to get caught out on the air jab twice as 2 more kills fly in here for Liquid. Cameraman again, that last man standing. He's going to be dispatched from the hatch. Palu everywhere that he is required to be and more as he picks up that final kill, knowing exactly where cameraman was. Like, it was weird, wasn't it? Because Astro got taken out first as one of the players that was on site. And you just sort of sit there and you think, okay, that happened, but it's certainly not ideal. And the roam game from Bullet, whilst it was good and it wasted a lot of time and it tied everybody up for a bit, he still got caught out by the air jabs and eventually taken down. So really, it was a fairly unsuccessful site. And again, one of the reasons why we don't tend to see it too often.
Yeah, not the greatest bomb site, I think, being shown. But now they get to go to the bar defense. Again, Ollie, another bomb site that hasn't necessarily worked for FaZe in the past. The fact that we're not seeing a bedroom, I think, is pretty surprising also. Really surprised why they haven't went up there yet. They've went to the other three, though. So, I don't really know what FaZe are thinking. They're going to go for the bar nonetheless. Granted, they have changed up nearly everything they've went for. They had the mirror windows coming in last time, Ollie. Mirror windows worked very, very well, though, against Liquid. Now they're bringing in the portable mirror window, you could say, in the form of Clash.
PSK going to nade through to assist that wall in being opened. Some of there will be removed, and it allows Ask to open on up, and it's a popular place for Liquid to start their approach. If they're going to be attacking into bar, they like to get that garage control nice and early. It didn't work out entirely for them previously. Ask actually got taken out, getting caught on his drone as he was just stood in the middle of garage, but I'm sure that isn't a mistake they're looking to repeat here, and instead they'll probably take a little bit more time. Now, we do hear an air jab ping off in the distance. Maybe just getting eaten up as a member of FaZe knew where one was and could get away with it safely for the time being, as nothing really comes of it.
Liquid just eyeing up their options. Have to get the drone work in, realize where all of the utility is going to be stacked up, and you can see them doing just that. Pulls out. I believe that's the proximity alarms being spotted out. Cameraman has the information with the shield, has to try and feed that info over to FaZe, and maybe that's what FaZe have been struggling with, is that kind of proactive information. Flash can give you that in abundance. You give over that information and things just work. We look at a team like NIP. In the past, they've played so well with shields where they can feed off that energy. And I think FaZe can equally do that. But Paulu had just slipped in. I'm pretty sure he just jumped in through blue window. And he's got library control. Nobody's in blue stairs. Why?
Paulu's had 7 kills since the remake at round number 6. He really is popping off tonight. And before that, he was doing exceptionally well as well. He really is a big playmaker here for the side of Liquid. C4 going to fly out. Beautifully timed. And Paulu will be sat down in the dirt. 30 seconds now remain. Liquid need to try and come up with something here. Nesk is primed, ready to strike. PSK still trying to get in and established in this top floor. And the Clash is going to do a lot of work here to slow down this Liquid push. As Astro just peeking back into library, seeing if there's an opportunity that he can take in there, but resets. He's going to be the first to fall, followed by Ask. PSK grabs one back, but it's a desperate attempt. Souls is there to pick up the pieces, and PSK has to go big here inside of a second if he looks to do all too much. Souls shuts him down. The ever faithful support player here for FaZe, landing his shots time and time again. No doubt.
Very, very easily. Too easily for my liking, I would say. You know, Paulu got an absolute freebie onto the man in top fireplace. So, just little areas, again, that FaZe need to try and give detail to. But still being able to recover. Good on them. Now they move over towards kitchen. This was a bomb site that didn't go well for them, but they still won a round. It was very strange. They went very heavy in the upstairs department. They played the mirror windows. All they wanted to do was hold in towards office and bedroom. Their guys in sight maybe didn't perform as best as they could. They got picked off. Liquid were able just to blitz in towards the bomb site, get the diffuser down, but then Liquid, they themselves, they slipped up. They had a bit of a lackluster post plant, and FaZe were able to capitalize on the mistake. So, a game of throws, it feels like, Ollie. A game of throws.
There's certainly been a few mistakes on either side, and I think both teams have done really well to capitalize on those mistakes. FaZe taking advantage of Liquid's usage of the time, which, let's face it, hasn't been fantastic. He's having a very quiet game since the remake as well. Is Nesk. 1 kill inside of 4 full rounds that we've seen. Currently in the 5th. It's not really where you expect him to be in the grand scheme of things. Playing on the Jackal, and I don't know if the Jackal's having the desired effect, honestly. The roamers that FaZe are throwing out there, they're seeming to find enough problem with just the Nomads than, you know, really being forced around by the Inox tracker as well. And it could be an opportunity for FaZe to bring something a little bit different and just allow Nesk to stretch his legs. I know he's played a lot of Ash, and since the Zephyr nerf, a lot of people have sort of speculated if he's lost his way a little bit on attack because, of course, we're so used to seeing him play Zephyr.
Yeah, Sophia, a bit of a thing of the past, of course, with the changes that she went through. Changes to her main assault rifle M672, M762, should I say, sorry. And now the LMG kind of becoming the more dominant one. Still not the greatest, and you can see a lot more teams kind of switching off that. Away from the Sophia. Iana definitely becoming the prime-time entry operator across all regions. Astro, well, the nade's being tossed his direction. He needs to try and hold on to that piano the best that he can. He has, of course, the deployable shield. The Goyo brings in a lot of utility in his own right. Olu just fishing away. Unless 2 nades in the back pocket, can easily toss them out. Find kills wherever they come. Toss one in towards bathroom. ADSO will pick it up. And oh, it was almost going to be a bait. But 2 kills go in FaZe's favor. Bullet eliminates Polu, and a C4 from Cameraman. Excellent stuff from FaZe, and Liquid dead in the water right now, Ollie.
They need a bit of a miracle here to try and salvage this round. And of course, this decides who guarantees a point here in this game. Oh my goodness, you see him. Please take the shot. Ah, he shuts down Souls. That's going to do something here. But is it going to be enough? There's still 30 seconds left to play. And now only a 1-man disadvantage. The plant is going to start to go down. Reset's trying to provide a little bit of cover as well, as PSK is still on the prowl above. Reset's really is not looking to try and give that location up, as he is able to cover the plant as it goes down. But is it going to even matter as Bullet and Cameraman come in big? The final kill will fall onto Resets. The FaZe can take their time this time to disable that diffuser. Really nothing to it. Just a nice little bait and switch. Grab all the kills, let the plant go down, and hit that retake. Liquid given no other opportunity there other than to get that plant down because they just were not coming up with the kills.
That's their purpose, is to give you a little bit of fire whenever things aren't working for them, but at the moment, it's just not. I think Recess has been very quiet on the attack, 2 and 4 from him. It's really only Paul who's kept them alive inside this matchup, Ollie, so Liquid not having the greatest of times, but FaZe on top of the world.
They certainly come out reinvigorated and an entirely different team to what we saw yesterday. They've guaranteed points here. As we've already mentioned, these two sit neck and neck on the leaderboard as we currently stand inside of the BR6. Team Liquid has the lead currently. FaZe snapping at their heels. Win here wouldn't be enough, I don't believe, for FaZe to go clear of Liquid, although it may tie them up depending on if it is a clean 3 points or not. It would come down to mini-league factors if that was the case. So not entirely clear-cut, but it'd do a lot to give themselves that little bit of an edge come the later part of the stage. Still an opportunity for Liquid to take this into an overtime and restrict that amount of points. All lies on this round. A lot of pressure here, really, for Liquid. A game that they were commanding in for a large portion of it. Just slowly but surely slipped away from them. Next 2 minutes is an opportunity for them to try and salvage something out of this one.
Liquid, where do you go? What do you do? A lot of options are starting to run out for them. 1 round's all FaZe Clan need to take a clean victory over their big rivals. FaZe into the defense, going in towards this bedroom. Haven't been here yet. It's the first time. It was a bit of a surprise that we weren't seeing this more regularly, but here we are. This is the time for FaZe. But looking to try and creep in and try and get their foot in the door early enough. C4 is going to be prepped from Cyber. 1 man on the solar stairs, 1 man on the solar window. Resets, playing flank watch on the Noma. That's expected. Paulo doing his own thing. The top performer right now for Liquid. He has to show up big. But have been stalled out for a small time. The smoke grenade gets tossed out. But right now, FaZe, they still have full control of Library. Nobody from Liquid is interested in that side of the map. It is going to be a full Solarium take. I think FaZe, they're going to have to try and maybe retake in towards Kitchen, in towards Dining. Don't give Liquid this freedom. Don't let Liquid play their game. Bullet takes a bit of damage from Paulie on the rooftop. Right now, Ollie, it is teetering. It is balancing so evenly right now. I have no idea where it's going to go.
I think Liquid need a real big ace up their sleeve here. They're running out of time and seemingly running out of luck. They've still got a lot of information to go at, and we can see the drones are continuing to work as we enter the 35-second mark. A lot of these rounds have really come down to the wire, and this one is going to be no different. A lot being left up to chance here, though. Ask is trying to push his way on through. He finds the kill onto Cyber. That's a big one. It removes a C4, but it is instantly responded to. The flank watch has been ineffective, and now Astro can perform underneath with that C4. Kills continue to fly. His cameraman will be below as well. They're going to have to make that rotation now and move on up. Ask, he's picked up 2 inside of the site, and he's looking to nail that diffuser to the floor. A lot of angles here being open. It's going to be difficult for Astro. No, impossible for him to push on through. Ask gets down seconds after the plant is confirmed. As cameraman now approaches, we are guaranteed going to overtime here. PSK, he grabs the final kill. Liquid, they make the execute happen. They stick the plant, and this time hold it in the post.
Great stuff.
Got a little bit of everything in there. We've got a Vigil, Palu on the Legion, PSK even picking up the Alibi. So an option for a little bit of an extension. Puts a lot of pressure onto Ask, but again, this is a pretty typical play style from Liquid. They used to play this in this fashion in previous iterations, so we'll see how it performs for them here. I think the pressure's got to be on FaZe. They were the ones that had that. It was an even 3-3 attack, but it didn't feel like an even 3-3 attack, if that makes sense. And I think that the pressure is certainly going to be on them a little bit more here now to really perform and to pick up that first round. It really is quite a big swing of momentum for you. Liquid can't breathe that sigh of relief just yet. They've guaranteed the OT, but there's still a way to go here.
There we go. FaZe on the attack. Here comes that Finka once again. This time, Finka does have the nades, Ollie, which was something we questioned before. We've seen a Finka with flashbangs rather than the grenades, but grenades a lot more handier, Ollie, that we see a lot more of the time. On a map like Shally, where there is always going to be the abundance of utility be placed by certain sides, nades are always going to be handy in that department. FaZe, it will be a kitchen attack for them. Try and take above in towards the bedroom side of things, which is kind of expected. Last time Ask had a bit of a blunder in the stairs, all I remember. He was in this exact same position. There was players swinging in to the windows, and it was a very simple shotgun shot, and he missed it. And it was quite a big kill that he needed to make.
Certainly not a mistake. I reckon he's looking to repeat. He's getting pressured fairly heavily from pretty much every single angle. FaZe have done a number on him there to push him out. And that's a great way to isolate that player on the Solarium stairs and really give them a tough time. Ask has now been sent to the cameras, and instead FaZe will start this round with the advantage.
FaZe, one up. Still have a good chunk of time. I mean, only a minute 20 still left on the clock. The Lion charge is still in the back pocket. Last one goes out, and this is where I think FaZe can really grab the bull by the horns and take full control off this bomb site. Cameraman, ooh, has a feeling Nesk might be lurking on his window, and almost lands the free fire shot, but Nesk is smart enough to move away. The rest of FaZe are starting to make their approach in the bomb site, and Liquid, they're struggling. Almost like where FaZe were. FaZe were really, really down in the dumps, trying to hold on to the bomb site control. But oh no, a team kill from Cameraman onto Bullet. A 2 versus 2, and this is now winnable for Liquid. Diffuser will be picked up. Astro goes in for the Diffuser. Cameraman eliminates the little information that Liquid still had. Next, pushing in via Dyna. Reset sees the Diffuse carrier, but the Diffuser go down. Resets, eliminates Astro as he tries to swing onto the hatch. Cameraman, a 1 versus 2 to clutch up for your team. Doesn't know where to look. We will see a man now move back in towards the Solar Stairs. The pre-fire goes in, but Resets is just better. A quad kill for Resets, and Liquid are back in front.
A big round there for the rookie as he's come in and had an incredible performance there. There wasn't a great deal that got past him. He managed to pick up 4 out of the 5 kills available. And
Oh, my word. My, oh my. Liquid. Liquid FaZe, just, they never make it easy for us, Ollie. We just can't walk in and have a simple game. It's just, oh. What is everything we live for? It is everything that we live for. FaZe now, back on the back foot. They have to go big. They have to show up. And they're going to go to the bar. Last time, they went for the bar defense. They brought in the clash, and it worked very well, Ollie. We've seen the proactiveness. We've seen them feed off the information. But will it work twice? Liquid, they kind of found out where they went wrong with the clash. This is where we hope they can rectify those mistakes.
I mean, Liquid really ignored the clash, and it kind of hurt them a little bit. Now, this time, more things than that have changed. We've got Ask actually on the Thermite. This is not really familiar ground at all. Takes a Cake used to play Ace pretty much exclusively, Maverick when required. Never all too much Thermite. Now, we're seeing the Thermite be brought here. I'm interested to know where Ask is going to try and deploy that, because typically their approach has been in through the garage. And Hibana is usually up to the task there. Now, maybe the smokes are going to be required for something a little bit further on, but you could have grabbed them from Nesk as well. So, still, a couple of questions that need answering here. But ultimately, the same approach as previous. First port of call is getting into that garage and starting to get a little bit of map control.
Liquid. Right on a Thermite. Wonder what that's for. What were they expecting? Maybe that helps them a little bit more in terms of the control over towards Fireplace. Usually we see Thermite walk in towards Office and open up that wall that kind of leads out in towards Fireplace. But then again, look at the positioning that we're seeing their Thermite in. This might be a quick rush from Liquid. Look at the setup, Ollie. We're seeing people outside of Mud getting prepared. We're seeing that double window be opened up. There's 3 of them outside there right now. And also, FaZe, they have 3 players off-site. If these anchors cannot hold their own, if Cyber and Souls gets hit flat-footed, this could be it over for FaZe.
Drone work has gone ahead. PSK's, unfortunately for him, lost his drone in the mute jammer, but Liquid do seem primed and ready. Cyber going to be on these library stairs. Astro holding for him up there as well. Suns start to come in to burn out that utility, but Clash can call a lot of things out here. Ask gets chunked right down. He's actually got himself into sight. The pistol surely doesn't win out against the shotgun, and it will not be so. Souls takes him on down, and with him the Diffuser cold inside of games. A very big loss there, but still recoverable. Palu, he's able to shut Souls down, and with it the Toxic Babe canisters. I believe there was still 1 remaining. That's a good 15 seconds that you've saved. There is work to do elsewhere here, though. And there's a lot of players congregating on those library stairs. Palu, he's now made his way up inside of library. He has Bullet to deal with. Astro on the staircase as well. And could really do with a little bit of support here. He will be taken down by Bullet, as there was nobody up there with him. Nobody even on that new balcony. Somewhere that really would have provided quite a big win here for Liquid, but instead they are funneling into main lobby and dropping like flies. Resets. He hears an air jab go off in the distance, but again, 6 seconds, 4 kills to find. There is just too much of a mountain to climb, and we're going to maximum overtime.
Liquid went for a risky play, went for a chance. It didn't pay off. They picked up the card, Ollie, and it said go to jail. That's exactly what happened to Ask. As the Thermite tried to push in deep, but Souls did his job. Souls, as the anchor, won.
They haven't had an easy game today. Maximum overtime. Liquid starting off on the defense. bar and games as our playground. What do FaZe try and bring? Cyber, he's played a couple of different operators throughout the course of the game on attack. We've seen him on the Finker. We've seen him on the Nomad. We are now seeing him on the Nook. Now, Nook has been fairly terrifying all weekend, Demo.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of Nook plays. Alamau earlier in his game against Furia, we've seen a great deal of Nook coming out from him. Again, Nook, one of those operators where the gadget maybe isn't the strongest, only really set situations where we see that be used, and it is a very kind of I'd classify selfish operator where it's only you really benefiting from that. But you do get a nice little kit. You know, you get a nice gun. You know, Deagle's handy enough to have. Nades are always going to be a big benefit. Anyone with nades is going to be good. That's just a fact. Unless you're glass. Other than that, yeah, it's going to be strong.
Well, the approach for the meantime. Ask is still making a couple of adjustments inside of the site. It's typically going to be in toward the library. It's been FaZe's main point of focus throughout the course of the game and is a great place to start. Something that FaZe have also previously done is approach New Balcony very well. In this instance, they won't be doing that just yet. The first two players fall, Bullet being confirmed, and Astro down for the count. PSK, I believe, knows that he's down, but doesn't want to give away that position. Doesn't want to give his life away. He's happy to just let Astro bleed out as he's still being pressured by Souls.
This is not a good start for FaZe. Not a good start at all. Shield top blue will be eliminated by the Flores drones, but PSK he's the deadly man. He is the player in the position who can deny anyone wanting to jump in towards Fireplace, can deny anyone jumping in towards Library, even gives the support over to Blue Quarter as well. Ooh, Cameraman just in the backside of PSK, but it doesn't matter. PSK has been down. Cameraman, though, he gets taken out. A swing upstairs to Blue, but Resets has also been taken down. There was 4 people bleeding out. And oh my word, FaZe have all of a sudden cleaned up 2 kills. There's still 1 man bleeding for FaZe. So it is going to be essentially a 2 versus 3 until Cameraman gets back on his feet, which it is going to be the case, a 2 versus 4. Oh my word, I have never seen a round like this play out. Nesk has went up the stairs, eliminated 2. Nesk the 3rd as well. Oh my word, the Terminator is active. And it's all down to Cameraman against 2. Ask, oh my word, Ask no doesn't win it. Cameraman as well. Nesk no, Cameraman wins it. What have we just witnessed? You will never see a round like that ever again.
One of the scrappiest rounds we have ever seen here inside of Brazil, and one of the scrappiest rounds I can remember seeing in Siege, full stop. So many down but not outs. Eventually, FaZe come out on top. Cameraman secures the kill. What a way to finish a maximum overtime game. There was no way of knowing which way that game was going to go. What a round of Siege we have just witnessed. Those guys certainly need to pat themselves on the back. All 10 of them in the server. They have just given us a great spectacle to enjoy. And FaZe coming out a winner this time, retaking the